Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Mucedorus and we get to hear from Mucedorus today in Act 1, Scene 11. So this scene has been a little bit of a whirlwind already. Mucedorus went back to the well that's by the tree where the bear thing happened and he was going to wait for Amandine, but he changed his disguise, so now he's dressed as a hermit instead of a shepherd. And then Mouse came in and said that everybody's looking for the shepherd because he and Amandine ran away, and Mucedorus is like, well, if I see him, I'll see if I can find you somewhere. And Mouse is like, I'm probably going to be drunk in the kitchen. And Mucedorus decides at this point that he should go look for Amandine, so he exits, but Bremo and Amandine enter, and Bremo is like, don't you love living here in the forest with me? And she's like, no, I'm actually still in love with the shepherd. And he's like, I'm going to kill you for that. And she's like, please don't. And he's like, all right, I won't. Here's all of the ways that I'm going to treat you like a queen, the wonderful things that I'm going to do, the wonderful things that I'm going to make happen. Isn't that going to be great? And the whole time she's like, I don't want any of this. But Mucedorus then enters, and Bremo's like, hey, dinner has just shown up. There's enough of him. We can both feast on this guy. And Mucedorus is like, I don't even have a weapon with me to be able to like fight and defend myself. And Amandine is like, please spare him. And Bremo's like, nope, we're gonna eat him. And Mucedorus is like, just give me a second, just give me a second. And Amandine is like, please listen to him for my sake. Please, please, please listen to him. And Bremo's like, okay, fine, I'll listen, but just keep it short, okay? What do you have to say? And Mucedorus says, in time of yore, when men like brutish beasts did lead their lives in loathsome cells and woods, and wholly gave themselves to witless will, a rude, unruly rout, then man to man became a present prey. Then might prevailed, the weakest went to wall. Right was unknown, for wrong was all in all. As men thus lived in this great outrage, behold, one Orpheus came, as poets tell, and them from rudeness unto reason brought, who led by reason soon forsook the woods. Instead of caves, they built them castles strong. Cities and towns were founded by them then. Glad were they that they found such ease, and in the end, they grew to perfect amity. Weighing their former wickedness, they termed the time wherein they lived then a golden age, a goodly golden age. Now, Bremo, for so I hear thee called, if men which lived tofore as thou dost now, wild in the woods, addicted all to spoil, returned were by worthy Orpheus means, let me, like Orpheus, cause thee to return from murder, bloodshed, and like cruelty. What? Should we fight before we have a cause? No. Let us live and love together faithfully. I'll fight for thee. So this is a very long story, even though Bremo was like, keep it short. Mucedorus gives a little history lesson of the civilization of man as was brought about by Orpheus. He's like, a long, long time ago, everybody was killing each other and beating each other up, and the strong won and the weak were killed, and everybody was rude, but rude in like the wild, uneducated kind of way, not in the impolite kind of way. He was like, everybody was rude and crude, and they lived in caves, and everything was sort of chaos. But then Orpheus came and started teaching people about reason and thought and civilization and kindness and all of this. So they moved out of the woods, they moved out of the caves, they built castles, they started living in cities. Life became a lot easier for them because nobody was trying to just kill each other for no reason anymore, and they termed it a great golden age. And the reason why Mucedorus is telling this story, he wraps up at the end, he's like, so Bremo, let me be like Orpheus for you. You're currently living in the woods and everything's murder and bloodshed and all this sort of thing, but I can bring you back to civilization. We can be friends. Why should we fight when we don't even know each other? And Bremo responds by saying, are you going to fight now or are you going to die? And both Mucedorus and Amandine are like, we don't want to fight and please spare him and all this. And Amandine is the one that sort of jumps in towards the end. She's like, you said that I was going to be your queen, right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, and you said that I could have my will as your queen, right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, then spare his life. So Brahma finally reluctantly is like, okay, fine, I'll spare his life, but yeah, what are you going to do for me? And Mucedorus is like, I will be your servant, and nobody will ever take care of anybody better than I'm going to take care of you. And that's the end of Act 1, Scene 11. So Mucedorus, this prince of Valencia, is now a servant to a wild cannibal from the woods who is trying to steal the woman that Mucedorus is in love with. Yay! And we still have Sagasto to deal with somewhere, and the king of Valencia is supposedly coming to find them because he misses his son. We only have about 3 monologues left in this play, so there's going to be a lot to wrap up over the next couple days, but come on back and check out what happens. I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.